awesome records on
Yeah,
it.
man.
Bless me. That's
Yeah,
one of my
man.
favorites. I listen to it in the car everywhere.
That was the first song.
Yeah.
That was the first song on the rhythm. I remember there was a time I ran an organization in Kisumu called One Vibe Africa.
Yes.
We still collaborate. I still work with them. I still consult. So after my contract ended in at One Vibe,
Yeah.
I was around late 2016. So late 2016, I just got back to Nairobi. I was trying to set up myself, again. Basically sasa ndio nimeingia home sasa kabete nimetulia nataka kwanza sasa sasa where do I start with this industry?
And how the industry is rough, in Nairobi especially, everywhere of course.
Living in Kisumu for 3 years, man, was like a holiday.
You're on vacation.
Man, I was on vacation. I was on vacation, because I used to bring a lot of artists, a lot of main artists from Nairobi, artists and DJs, So we used to do a lot of things. I used to do a lot of projects in Kisumu. And that connected me to a lot of people, a lot of entertainment, sports. But then what Kisumu did for me, I grew as a person.
And as a brand too.
And Kisumu taught me to value local music more, because before I went to Kisumu,
I embrace local talent and
Before I went to Kisumu, I never used to write a lot of songs in Swahili.
Okay.
But then when I got to Kisumu, a lot of songs that were playing heavy, that were doing good in Nairobi, were not doing good on that part of the country.
Okay.
A lot of artists who are big in Nairobi,
they were not big there.
So it taught me. I also researched a lot. And eventually I learned 1 or 2 things. So when I got back to Nairobi, the first person who called me for a project was DJ Sadiq.
Okay. The gospel producer, the DJ producer.
Yeah. So Sadiq called me and I was like, yo, bro, hey, you're back. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. I want to work. So it's like, there's this project we've done with Vicky Pondis.
Yes.
And I'd like you to be on it. So he's okay, send it. So he sent me the beat and I was like, nice.
Okay.
But then for that project, I wanted to be, like paying homage, paying homage, being thankful, explaining my story,
It's a very deep record. I listen to it and I get inspired all the time.
Explaining my story, explaining things that I've seen people go through as well, because, living in Kisumu, I saw a lot of people struggle, because I worked
real time. You saw it first hand.
Man. I worked in an area called Manyata.
Okay.
So there's a Manyata is a big slum in Kisumu.
Okay.
Manyata in Nyalenda, those were my places of work. And like I basically saw people going through a lot of things, and people are not sulking, people are just happy.
Just going on with life.
Yeah, man.
Just being happy.
Guys were just going on with life,
Yes.
So a lot of things changed with me. So I went home and then my mom was very, very confused. Because there are so many things I used to do before I went to Kisumu. And then when I came back to Nairobi, I wasn't doing those things anymore. Like I wasn't doing anything. I was just a simple person.
Okay.
Everything was simplified.
The fame was just,
I was just
aside.
I was just cooled down. I was slow. I was nice. I was just simmering around. So, and that record just came natural,
Okay.
It came natural from my point of view and also the point of view of those things that I experienced in Kisumu, things that I saw people going through in Kisumu, Basically, I just wanted to get in touch with my religious side,
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right, great. So you've said, Shamir, in a section of the media, your biggest challenge is to keep Kenyan reggae music on the map. Do you feel you're doing that right now?
I feel like we're on the right track. We're on the right track because Kenya is a reggae country.
It is a hub.
Kenya is a
It's the capital city of reggae.
It's the capital city of reggae in Africa.
Yeah.
Undisputed.
Yes.
Nobody can dispute that.
Yes.
You know? And I feel like I still feel like there's a lot of things that I need to do as an artist. I know there are certain steps
that you need to take.
that I must take.
Okay.
You know? That I must take. And I'd say that I'm confident enough to take them, in due time.
All right.
In due time. But that's something that we are following up very, very close
with your team.
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, great. So what do you feel is the biggest stumbling block when it comes to Kenyan reggae musicians breaking internationally? Because we let's say we can name a few. Yourself, Trisha maybe.
Yeah.
Waire. But we can't even, the list is, it's a very short list, you know? What's the stumbling block?
I think from what I'm experiencing,
yes,
I think the biggest stumbling block is how much we invest in the projects, in the projects we put out. You know, like we need to invest a lot of knowledge in our music because sometimes you might shoot a very expensive video. You might shoot a video for maybe $500,000, 300K.
Yes.
Even up to $1 million, Bob. And then the video doesn't do well.
Yeah.
And then you think...
Start crying foul.
Yeah, you start crying foul. Thinking that, you know, thinking that maybe people lied to you somewhere.
Karma is on my case.
Yeah, man. So investing knowledge.
Okay.
Investing knowledge is very, very important. Because I discovered that I have a friend that he used to work very closely with One Vibe. He's one of the biggest hip hop artists. He's called Macklemore.
Okay.
I used to work. I also worked with this. I worked with this producer Wararunga in Kisumu as well. And one thing I learned from Macklemore is that as much as they invest in their work, they also put a lot of research and knowledge into their work.
Into the projects and the work.
Because, you know, they don't just shoot videos. They
just for the record or the sake of it.
They don't. They don't. They involve a lot of people.
Yes.
They involve a lot of ideas.
They research widely.
Yeah. Everything and anything goes into the project. So once the video is released, you don't see a one-dimensional idea.
Okay.
You know, every frame is a unique idea from someone.
It's a fresh idea.
Yeah, man. Every frame, you know, and he'll tell you this frame, this idea was by this person.
Yeah.
This idea was by this person.
So it becomes a collective
thing. It's a collective effort. So even by the time the video gets out, all these people who contributed to this project, they want to share it.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
And it becomes massive.
It becomes massive.
Yes.
You know, it becomes massive. So investing in knowledge and ideas. It's very, very important.
Okay.
Something else. Investing in a good project.
Okay.
You know, like finding the perfect producer.
Directors.
You know, finding the perfect director. If you can't write the whole song,
find a good writer.
Find a good writer. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
And, you know, that's like, and also one of the biggest barriers is also finding people who can get someone influential to play that record. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a radio producer. It doesn't necessarily have to be a DJ. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big TV station. Just getting the right person to listen to that record, you know, and that person will tell another right person, yo,
and it becomes a wave.
I just had a tune here. Play this. You know?
Yes.
You know, and people just forwarding the song, you know, just having the right people to forward the project.
The record, okay.
You know? Like, for example, me, currently, I'm in collaboration with a very good friend of mine. He's a Grammy award-winning guitarist.
What's the name?
He's called Benji Baez. And he plays guitars for the Malays. He plays guitars for Damien.
Stevie,
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. He also does a lot of guitars for... There's this artist who came to Kenya recently. What was his name?
A reggae artist?
Yeah, he's a reggae artist. He sing one of the songs that Rastaman is a peaceful Don Carlos.
Oh, Don Carlos.
Yeah. He plays guitars for Don Carlos as well. So Benji has also been teaching me a lot about the business.
Okay.
He's currently in contact with a lot of those labels, Kina VP, Kina Nani,
Okay.
Penthouse, all those people.
Yes.
And basically just showing me the ropes.
Okay.
And eventually...
The in and outs.
Yes. And also he has an idea of creating a gateway for African reggae artists, reggae and dancehall artists to get into that part.
Into that space.
Into that space.
Okay.
So I'd say we are on the right track.
Okay. But we need to do more. We need to
We are on the right track.
involve everyone.
But we definitely need to do more.
Okay.
There's a project I just started with Benji. It's very raw.
Okay.
So I'll just play it to you, and then you'll hear the direction.
Okay.
You'll hear the direction. It's very raw.
Okay.
You'll hear the direction that
You're taking.
That I'm taking. Yeah.
So talking about international collaborations, you have a record with Pressure Bass, right?
Yeah, man. Pressure, man.
Big
Pressure.
record. Pressure is a big deal. You're a big deal too.
Pressure is an amazing guy. Amazing guy.
So are you guys personal friends?
I linked with Pressure through my manager.
Okay.
Through my manager, and I also linked with a couple of very, very serious artists. But then we never got the opportunity to finish some of those projects.
Yes.
So we decided, maybe some of those projects are for the future. You
Okay.
know? So me and Pressure we just had a good vibe.
Okay.
We just had a good vibe. So we were linked, and he listened to some of my work.
Okay.
And coincidentally, he used to listen to On Fire, but he never knew
It was you.
who sang it. He was like, yeah, I used to listen to this song a lot. You know, I was like, it's me. But I was young back then. I was like, yeah, I'd like to do something. So I sent him the beat, and he sent me his vocals back, mixed and mastered. Yeah.
It's a good record.
Yeah, so I'm just looking to maybe him doing his parts for the video. I do my parts for the video, we put it together, and we just out it.
You have a video out with Wyre.
Yeah, man.
How's that? How is that? How is it? What's the reception? I've been seeing you guys doing media tours.
Well, we did media tours last year.
Last year,
we did a lot of media work last year. The only thing maybe is it's because we never put out the song on YouTube.
Okay, it's not on YouTube.
No, it's
why?
not.
Copyright issues?
Not really. Not really. Wyre has a project called eSongs. It's basically a music streaming app.
Okay.
And the launch, they launched it in Kenya.
Okay.
But eventually, it's going all across Africa. So they launched it in Kenya.
Okay.
And one of the things that they were trying to do basically is working with different artists
and get traffic on the app. Okay.
Yes, from different genres, so that the app can get some traffic. So on our genre, on reggae and dancehall, it was me and Wyre.
Okay.
It was me and Wyre. So there's hip hop, there's someone.
Okay.
Basically every other genre had a representative.
Okay.
So we decided to basically get the video out.
Okay.
And get the video to media stations, to DJs, and then audio as well.
Yes.
Get it out to people, but then have the song exclusively on eSong.
Okay.
For some time. So eventually,
now maybe you can put it on YouTube or some other platform.
Eventually, it's gonna be out on. It's gonna be out on YouTube.
That day.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's shift a bit and talk about challenges in this business. You know? Let's talk about royalties first and CMOs. What's the story about you and CMOs and royalties?
Well, for me, to be honest, I remember when I started out, On Fire did very, very well.
It did. Even today, it's doing great.
It did very, very well. But the funny thing is, that song being one of the biggest songs in Kenya, for over a year, from when it was released, over a year, song was big, playing everywhere.
Huge, yeah.
And MCSK never paid me a single cent.
Oh, were you signed up to that? Or did you
I signed up. I signed up, man. And I don't know. It was just very, very...
On Fire was an anthem.
Man,
everywhere.
it was a very saddening process. So I was like, okay, fine. I always wanted to find out how iTunes and Spotify and
work and
how they work, how they push music, how they help people stream music.
Okay.
So it wasn't up until 3 years ago that I spoke to Provoke, and then Provoke linked me up for a songwriting project for one of his artists in Switzerland. It's called Costari. So lucky enough, Costari has a label that basically helps artists when it comes to like streaming, setting up your music on TuneCore, stuff like that. And Costari just told me, by the way, I have this label, send me some of your music.
Yeah.
We can sign you up into our label and then help you distribute your music. I was like, yeah, fine. So I sent him a couple of songs from my album. Most of my album is actually on, it's only on TuneCore. You can only find those songs exclusively there.
Yes.
I never released them on this other side. So after a few months, I saw my numbers were doing really, really well. And then I just said, I'll just focus on putting music out there.
Yes.
And not focus so much on this bureaucracy in Kenya.
Okay.
So because they make things really, really difficult for artists.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense that you get into a studio, you spend a lot of money,
and at the end of the day, you don't reap from it.
Man. So it was a difficult process. So I just said, I'll focus on putting my music out there.
Okay.
So here we'll just have to wait. So if I say I'm putting my music for everybody to see and hear and enjoy, maybe just YouTube.
Okay.
But then not
other these other platforms that are swindle artists.
Yeah. So I just decided no. Yeah.
Let's talk about the pandemic and the challenges about this. I mean, it's been crazy. No shows, nothing. How has that affected you as an artist, and what do you feel like we should embrace more for such a scenario in future, because we might be in this situation maybe some years to come?
One thing, one thing I've noticed with this pandemic is that a lot of things that we're experiencing right now is going to be our norm for a very long time.
So nothing is changing.
I don't think things are going to change.
Yes, go back to normal. It's not happening.
Because for one, I feel like there's a certain reset happening.
They press the reset button.
Yeah, man. Hey, there's that reset.
Okay.
So I struggled. I struggled at first, but lucky for me, being a producer, and being a songwriter was like a good opportunity for me to basically connect with artists that I'm working with, mainly outside the country. And that's what helped me, basically helped me through that process, because I got a lot of artists to send me. A lot of my friends in Europe were sending me projects. Yo, mix this, mix this, mix this, write this, mix this,
Okay.
So I eventually I learned a lot, I learned a lot. I grew up as an individual first of all, because your time before Corona tulikuwa yani
we were just in a comfort zone. Nothing, we could.
Tulikuwa kwa comfort zone nyingine si ya kawaida. You make 20k this week
and you're like, let me chill
kwa production. Uende kwanza ukate maji 7k. Yes. So it became different.
Yes.
We went from spending 15k over a weekend kwa club
to spending nothing.
So it became an interesting experience, So as much as the pandemic has affected a lot of people negatively, it has also helped a lot of people grow positively.
It's been, let's say it's been bittersweet.
Yes, it's been bittersweet.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Absolutely.
That's the word.
We are inspiring confidence right now. Let's talk about you as an artist. Yeah, you have a team. So many young artists are watching and listening right now, and they're wondering, what's the importance of having a team around me? What can you tell them right now and tell them, don't be on your own. Get a team. You don't have to pay them. You can start with your friends. You can start with your siblings. What's the importance of having a team, Shamir, as an artist?
The importance of having a team is having an umbrella.
Okay.
When it rains, there are people who are going to
cover you and look out for you.
To look out for you, to protect you. Because, sometimes us as artists, sometimes we are emotional. Sometimes we're emotional and we don't apply reason to
the problems
we face. That's where friends come in.
Yes.
That's where your producers come in. That's where a manager comes in.
Yes.
That's where that person who does your PR
comes in.
You
never get overwhelmed.
You never ever get overwhelmed.
Yes.
Because you have people to handle all these different
aspects
of your life. But also something else. Having a team around you basically helps you find time to develop your craft.
So you're not so focused on the contract, publishing, posting on social media.
Exactly. Because I remember there was a time, like, I thought I would do all these things on myself. I was my producer.
You are everything. One-man show.
I was my mix and mastering engineer.
Yes, yeah.
I was my songwriter.
Everything.
I was my social media handler. I was my manager, and it became overwhelming. So it ended up affecting the quality of my work.
Okay.
It affected the quality of my work kabisa. Because you can't
concentrate.
You can't focus.
And music is jealous. Music is a very jealous lover. It doesn't want you to have any other side business going on.
So eventually, it's something I learned on my own.
Okay.
Because the moment I got a team, people that I started working with, I started working with here and there, collaborating on projects. That's when I discovered, I can actually make good music.
Yes, you can.
I can actually write. I write better. I can produce better. Because
the music now.
I can only focus on one thing and be good at one thing.
Wow, okay.
And that's the advantage.
All right.
That's the advantage. You don't have to have a bunch of people who are taking money from you. It's very, very simple. It's very simple. Most of you guys you have best friends. You have confidence.
You have even girlfriends.
You have your girlfriends.
Siblings, Make use of them.
Like there's a lot of people. Like I've worked with artists who never knew some of their best friends are good keyboardists. And
you don't even know your girlfriend can be a good manager.
You never knew. Like just the other day in the studio, because we have a spot in the studio where people just play PS.
Okay.
And there's this guy called Sammy. Sammy has been playing PS in that studio for like 3 years.
Yes. Wow.
Nobody knew Sammy can play keyboards.
Wow.
Nobody knew. You've heard that tune called Show Me.
Show Me, yeah.
Sammy played
the keyboards
on Show Me, and Show Me is doing very, very well on Spotify. So it was crazy. It was crazy, just finding people around you.
People that care about your business, care about you.
Just finding people around you.
Okay.
Like you don't have to
start hiring people, doing interviews.
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to. I know now if I want someone to do something,
yes,
for me, looking for people here and there, I'll look for Layla,
Yes, big up Layla. She's
big up yourself.
Yeah, she's our producer. So okay.
So just finding people around you, simplifying things.
Simply, okay.
Because sometimes even for me, because I have a studio at home.
Yes.
So I'll create a song and then I'll just tell my mom, hey, Matheni aje. My mom is not a very big fan of reggae music.
Yes.
So ndamuita tu home niombe ni aje hebu come, because we live close by, kuna gate yake hapo,
okay.
Alafu kuna gate yangu. So I'll just call her. Yeah, kuja usikize. You know, she'll come and listen to it. And
she'll give you her honest opinion.
Yeah. She'll just have her honest opinion about the project. You know, so sometimes just simplifying things, you know. Yeah.
So how do you deal with disappointment, Shamir? You know, there's so many disappointments in this business. How do you deal with them?
For me, I think I grew a thick skin. A long time ago, you know, because I came from a rough neighborhood in Kibera called Mashimoni, and one of the things that I learned, you know, seeing a lot of my friends going through crime, you know, seeing a lot of my friends getting into the music business, you know. So I learned that you have to struggle through things.
Okay.
You know, to understand yourself, to fine tune yourself, you have to sharpen yourself.
Okay.
Unajua? And that sharpening process is not easy.
It's not easy.
Kwa sababu
it's a rigorous process.
Kwa sababu hiyo kitu inakusharpen.
Yes.
It's chipping parts of you.
Yes.
You know? It's chipping parts of you. It's chipping this outer layers of your body, you know, and getting into you know, and eventually you learn.
Yes.
You learn that there's a process to things.
There's a process to things.
You know? For me, I got to understand that, like, the easiest way for me to deal with disappointment is first of all understanding that growth is a part and parcel
of the process.
Yes. Like where you're going and where you're coming from.
Okay, that's cool. I will do what I call personality sentiments. So I'm going to name a couple of names, maybe your friends, people you know, people you look up to, and you're going to say something about them. What do you think about them? Let's start with Trisha. What do you think about her as an artist?
Mi amor.
As a person.
Mi amor. She always calls me mi amor. Mi amor. Right. Hi, mi amor.
Okay.
I'm like, hi, mi amor. I've been working with Trisha. She's an amazing
She's
person.
Talented.
Amazingly. Talented. She did the song that I want you to listen to. She did the BGVs, but they're not there yet.
Okay.
The producer Benji didn't add the BGVs on the drums.
Okay.
But he's gonna add them on the drums. And basically from the first time I connected with Trisha,
yes.
I've done some songwriting for her. I've done songwriting for her EP that's coming. I worked on 2 projects in that EP that I produced.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Okay.
So Trisha's an amazing person.
Yes.
I learn a lot from her.
Okay.
She gives me a lot of ideas. She's a perfectionist, just like me. I remember like one of her songs.
Yes.
We did a back and forth of that project over 30 times. You know,
before you got there,
and
right?
Eventually, we got it right.
All right.
You know, eventually we got it right. So I'd say she's an amazing person. She's a perfectionist.
Yes.
She's very, very professional. She's very direct. She's also a very, very kind person.
Okay.
And very, very supportive. Very supportive.
Great.
Yeah.
Big up, Trisha.
Big up.
Inspiring confidence. Waire
is that big brother that everybody needs.
Okay. He's a stable person in your life.
He's a very, very stable person. And, you know, you know that person who will just call you and tell you, "Oh, yo, bro, so this is what you need to do." So I'm very keen.
Okay.
I'm very keen. So you need to do this. Stop doing this. You need to do this.
Yes.
Focus on this. You know, and then he's very, very optimistic.
Okay.
He's a very optimistic person. You know, like the first time I sent him the beat for Action Man, the song that I did with him.
Yeah.
And his first reaction was, "This song is going to stay for a very, very long time.
It will have longevity.
You know, we are not going to rush it. We are not going to put it where people want it put. We'll just do it on our own terms. We'll release it where we need to release it.
Yes.
We'll share it with whoever we need to share it with.
Okay.
But this is a song we're going to give time.
Yeah, and it will grow on itself. Yeah.
It's going to grow on itself.
Okay.
And I trust that because everything that he has ever touched has done well.
He's legendary.
He is legendary.
Yeah, big up Wiry.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let's parting short. Yeah, where can we find Shamir on the socials? Where can we get the album? Mr. Maximum is out now, popping.
Well,
great album. I love it.
Well, I haven't released all the songs on Mr. Maximum.
Okay,
because I wanted at least 3/4 of the album to have videos.
Okay, and then
very, very important.
Okay.
So I'd say around 3/4 of the album is already out, but only in bits. It's only on Spotify and iTunes.
iTunes.
So I'm looking to put out the rest of the audios.
Yes.
I'm working on the video I'm working on the video for Flexible.
Okay.
This coming week on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm shooting the video in Kabete at home. So I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'm working on doing a couple of those videos. So once a couple of those videos are out, then we are ready for now launching the album officially.
So what can we expect? Maybe can we a month, 2 months?
I'd say April.
April.
I'm sure.
All right. Look out for Shamir's album dropping in April.
Sure for April. And
social networks.
My social networks is Shamir Tadeya. That's TAD.
Okay.
EIYA.
On Instagram.
Shamir Tadeya everywhere.
On Twitter.
On
everywhere.
Instagram, Twitter,
YouTube.
on Facebook, on YouTube.
Find Shamir, great artist, the confident one.
Yes, man.
Shamir, this evening.
Yeah,
Conscious Podcast. Thank you for your time, Shamir.
Thank you so much.
You're breaking the glass ceiling.
We have to.
You are inspiring confidence.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It was great having you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, man.